Kiwi Duo DUAL released their new EP, So Alive. Jamie and Maurice are on the line to tell us all about it. But while Jamie is in Auckland, we find Maurice in his new home in Sydney. So what gives?
Should we go in? Should we run and jump in?
I've decided to move over here, so I've only been here a week now. But yeah, just had a lot of change going on, and was like, I'll cross the ditch and yeah.
All right. So did that cause some discussion between the two of you? How are you going to manage that?
Nah, we just worked it out. We've got a lot of songs already recorded. We've got the EP, finished, and we want to head over here more as well and play shows. So kind of makes sense. And if anything, it actually probably tightens up the
operation.
the operation, the organizing stuff. You have to be
okay. Got to be more organized and more focused, I guess. And
yeah.
Very good. So you mentioned you got record. Well, you got an EP coming out shortly on the 31st. So before we get into that, just tell me a little bit of background about how the two. I know you've been doing this for a few years now, but what keeps you and brings you and keeps you together?
We went to high school together, and we formed a band with some friends because we all wanted to be Tame Impala back in the day.
Of course you did.
This was before they were a world phenomena. We were early.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So we're in a band called Narwhal. And yeah, we play. It was kind of like psych rock. Kind of learned our live chops from that. And then Maurice and I were the only ones that kind of kept going into uni and so on. So we just started writing music together. I was learning how to use Logic, and we just started making songs, and then we got a gig at a house party, and then we had to make a name, we had to make a live set, and kind of all just kicked off from there. And then we got some really good feedback, even though the show went terribly at the house. And I guess we just decided we can do it just the two of us. We don't have to have a band to write the whole thing. We can write the songs and then perform it with a band live. So yeah, ever since then we just kept on going, kept on making music, releasing music. I guess it's just we both love writing songs, so,
right,
performing them. So that's why we kept going.
How did the two of you write songs together? Maurice, you can jump in here and
it would start by Jamie sending songs to me, and then I would record vocal ideas, melodies over them and send them back. And then we started working. I think we did that remotely for a little bit. Jamie was traveling, I was traveling, and then we just got together, and then we moved in together. We got a big flat share, and we just kept doing it, and then I think the songwriting has just it changed, and it's got better, and it's got it's evolved along the way, and yeah, I think we always learned from playing stuff live what would work and what wouldn't work, and yeah, I guess it's just we always would show up, we'd always just show up and write, so it's always quite a natural sort of progression, I guess. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So the EP is called So Alive. It's out in a little bit. When did the idea for these group of songs, becoming a group of songs, start coming together?
It was probably during lockdown. We kind of had we've been releasing singles, and we knew we were going for an EP, but kind of they just all came together. They're all pretty different, how we wrote them. But then, and we always worry about it's too many different genres or sounds or whatever. But then people would say it always just sounds like us. So we kind of threw out the idea of trying to have a sound or fit into a sound. So we kind of just wrote a bunch of songs wrote each song for what they wanted to be, and then formed them into an EP and worked out like track listing and all that stuff.
Right. So did you record it at home in a studio? What were the circumstances with the recording?
Yeah, we both have home studios, so we would like whenever we get sick of working at one place, we'll just go to the other. So some days, I don't want to be at home, and it's like need to get out of the house going mad. So we'll go to Jamie's and vice versa. So we'll meet every it used to be Mondays and it used to be Mondays and Thursdays, but now it's Tuesdays and Fridays. So those are our music days where we meet. We get up, we start at 10, we get coffee, we work, we get lunch, and we work, and that's how we would write, A lot of the songs on here, it's sort of started, were formed that way together, and then we started working with different producers and found out which ones we liked to work with and develop relationships with them, and then, we'd be going in for a session, and then we'd say, hey, well, what about this one? And then that's kind of how Lights Out, the new single, was fleshed out. Like that was written on acoustic with Jamie and I, and then we were working with Simon Gooding on another song. And we said to him at our break, "Hey, what about this? Do you like? What do you think of this?" And he was like, "I love this." And then he came in and helped out with his big set of skills.
Okay. So you got a video for the title track for So Alive. What do you want to tell me about that song, about the video? Why is it kind of the one that you're kind of drawing focus on first?
Like simplicity is calling after me. No need to rush the music stuff. I feel it come naturally. My own anxiety is chasing after me. Well, I hope to find a little peace of mind, but for now I'm a little bit.
It's positive. It's happy. It's a lot of it. Some of the other stuff's a little bit, I don't know, a little bit more emotion involved in the lyrics and the meanings of the song. So that one's like a bit more light, and we wanted to put something out before the summertime, and this sort of made sense leading with that one. And the name So Alive, like all these songs are about, they're about living. They're about what it means to go through things in life, and they're just sort of how we've processed them. It's basic and simple as it sounds. That's sort of the meaning of the whole record. Is just
And Jamie, what can you tell me about the video?
We worked with this crazy director, Sam Krystowski. And
did you know he was crazy when you got him on, or did he become crazy?
He's crazy in a good way, like just his ideas and We'd done a video for Two Hands Up. We shot in New Zealand because he lives in LA usually, so like he was back due to COVID, so we kind of like that all worked out. And then he went back to the LA, so we wanted him to shoot the video, and we kind of worked on the idea together. Like it was things that make different people doing different things that make them feel alive. And then he shot it. He managed to get into the Big Lebowski, the house of the Big Lebowski of the when they're up on like the tennis court. Yeah. He manages to get like pull some like crazy stuff when he's there. We kind of let him obviously do his own thing because he's over in LA, and really cool.
All right, very good. Do you guys play tennis yourselves?
Yeah, I do. That's one of the things that helped me stick to some routine and having something that I'm equally as passionate about as music. So yeah, we and he likes tennis too, so we kind of bonded over tennis, and he was I have this idea, I know a court there, and I know this girl who's really good, and then kind of all fell into place,
Very cool. All right. And you also released Gummy Bears as a single about a month ago. So why is that one out and about already?
Suddenly I see colors of a technicolor dream messing with my head. I thought this gummy bear was my friend. Suddenly I'm awake up and I don't
was a funny one. It was like a really last minute song we wrote because we were kind of like, we needed like one of the little small like transition song in the EP, and so
Right.
I sent Maurice that little guitar progression, and then he instantly came up with the melodies, and then we chucked it all together. And yeah, it's just like a really, like really catchy little song that we tried to get a bunch of different sounds of. We got inspired by like a Gorillaz track about how we added like all these different sounds that sound like a little happy gummy land sort of thing. So that was really fun to work on, and it felt like a good second song to release for the EP.
All righty. So what are you going to do on the day of release? Are you going to be together or separate? Are you going to be? You got plans?
Nah, well, I'm coming back. We've got a show. So we haven't announced it yet, but we've got a show at the end of April.
Oh, good.
So we won't be together on the day of the release, but we're going to be doing some interviews and that. So I'm sure we'll share
Sure.
a pair online. And then I'll come back and we've got a show in Auckland. And then we're just planning a few other things at the moment that we have.
Cool. So what's the live show like these days? Is it the two of you? Do you augment with other people?
So
what's the set list consist of?
We've got a bassist, Holly, and a drummer called George.
Okay.
And we've kind of been with that. We just played down Electric Ave, 3 weeks ago in Christchurch.
Right. How'd that go?
That was really great. Yeah. Really good. We played Friday night for the Christchurch charity show for those.
Oh, yeah.
The cyclone and that, floods. So we played that on the town hall, and then we played on Saturday too at the festival. Both shows are great. Yeah, so much fun. Nice to be able to play again, and especially to that size of that Christchurch Town Hall is beautiful, and Electric Ave is a great festival. It's got a lot of good energy there.